My name is Roger Rush, and I have been involved in the communication satellite industry for the past 45 years. And for the past 15 years, I have been a full-time consultant and an advisor to those companies that are interested in investing in satellite communications. The primary objective of this study was to validate the claims being made by Inmarsat for its iSatphone Pro and to take a look at the competing telephones and determine how they compared in terms of performance. The coverage of the satellite systems depends upon the nature of the satellite orbits. The two systems that use geostationary orbits, which are the Thuraya system and the Inmarsat system, each satellite provides coverage to about 1/3 of the surface of the Earth. The Inmarsat system has 3 satellites which provide coverage to the entire globe except for the extreme polar regions, and the Thuraya system uses 2 satellites that provide coverage to Asia and Africa and Europe, but not North and South America. And the Iridium system has 66 satellites in a constellation. These satellites are continuously moving, and they provide service to the entire Earth. To test the robustness of the telephones, we went to the Sasken company in Kostonen, Finland. The tests that were performed on day 1 were the random freefall tests. On day 2, we performed a guided freefall test. On day 3, we performed a series of tests that involved twisting the telephone, bending the telephone, applying extreme force to the telephone. What I observed was that the iSatphone Pro was able to withstand the most rugged tests that are used for validating the performance of phones of this type. To test voice quality, we placed telephone calls from 15 locations around the globe, and we have logged in and video recorded more than 195 telephone calls.
This is Roger Rush calling in from Lake Como on an Inmarsat telephone.
The major difference, I would say, between these phones is that the iSatphone Pro seems to have a lower level of background noise, which actually enhances the experience. The latency didn't vary very much from phone to phone. Most of the people we talked to weren't even aware of the fact that there was any latency. But overall, considering the best and the poorest, the iSat was consistently better. Generally, with the iSatphone Pro and the Thuraya phones, we were able to make connections within 1 or 2 minutes. But we found, in the case of the Iridium phone, that we would sometimes have to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 12 minutes to be able to place the call. And with the iSatphone Pro, we could maintain a consistent communications link for periods of half an hour without any difficulty. The talk time is significantly longer for the iSatphone Pro. It's around 8 hours for talk time on that phone. However, with the Iridium phone, we found we would get disconnects several times. The longest, typically I would say the longest time we could go would be 20 minutes or so before we would get a disconnect. The Inmarsat iSatphone Pro provides substantially longer standby time on its battery than the Thuraya or the Iridium phones. We measured around 84 hours for the iSatphone Pro, whereas it was around 40 hours for the Iridium phone and a little less than 60 hours for the Thuraya phone. We were able to use the wired hands-free on all the phones, and that worked just fine. There wasn't any significant difference in the functionality of that particular feature between the phones. The iSatphone Pro has a feature that allows the telephone to be laid on its side with the antenna mounted upward. This provides a very stable base for using the phone under conditions where the operator wants to be hands-free, and this is by far the most stable of the alternative phones that we looked at. We tested out the texting function on the iSatphone Pro, and that was this equivalent to the way it works on a cellular system. It's fairly simple to use, but it's not a complicated process. Well, I would say that there are not dramatically great differences between the phones. I would say overall, Satphone Pro is probably better in terms of being more rugged, maintains a solid connection, provides very high voice quality, provides long battery life. It can be used almost anywhere in the world, and the airtime costs are substantially lower. If I were in the market to buy a Satphone, I would certainly choose the Satphone Pro because it's substantially less expensive and there's no significant feature of the other phones that's better, and this would clearly be the right choice.